Hello, dear students. Welcome to my English class. My name is Gulnara Babjanova. Today we are going to read and listen to the text and do some exercises according to this text. And the text is called Starbucks, Summer, and Other Things I Love About Britain. Before we start reading and listening to the text, please look at the photos and say in which one can you see a cash machine, ATM in American English. Let's look at the pictures and try to find ATM. Yes, you're right, it's picture 3. Next, a cup of coffee. In which picture can you see a cup of coffee? Yes, it's true. In picture 6, you can see a cup of coffee. Next, in which one can you see a zebra crossing? Look at the pictures again. Yes, it's picture 2. Next, a driver. In which one can you see a driver? Yeah, it's picture 4. You can see a driver, a woman driver in picture 4. In which one can you see a chemist? Okay, that's right. It's picture 5. A cyclist. A cyclist you can see in picture 1. A waiter. That's right. You can see a waiter, picture 6. And the last one, a pedestrian. Yes, you're right. Pedestrian is in picture 2. Thank you. You have done everything correctly. And next one. Now be ready to listen to the article and mark the sentences true or false and say why the F ones are false.
Starbucks, summer, and other things I love about Britain. Mark Van Hohenacker, an American journalist who lives in London, says the UK's not just okay, it's paradise. These are some of his reasons.
Walking. Britain isn't a good place for cyclists, but for pedestrians, it is wonderful. When you walk on a zebra crossing, all the drivers stop. Banks. British banks are great. You do everything online. And you don't pay when you take money out of an ATM. And if you want to change banks, the banks do all the work, not you. Drivers. The British are very polite when they drive. They don't hoot, and they are patient with other drivers. They always say thank you when you let them pass. Boots the chemist. Chemists in the UK are wonderful, friendly shops and completely different from US pharmacies. Boots sells everything you want, not just medicine, and the shop assistants give you good advice. No ID cards. Britain is one of the only places in the world where people don't have ID cards. In the US, you need ID when you buy a drink, go to a club, use a credit card, or take an intercity train. Summers. I love British summers. A good summer day in Britain is dry and warm, but not very hot. Starbucks. Starbucks isn't British, of course, but I prefer the Starbucks in Britain. They are nice, friendly places where people read the newspaper and drink good coffee. And the waiters don't write your name on the cups. I feel stupid in America when the waiter calls, "Mark, your tall cappuccino with extra chocolate."
Okay, you have just listened to the text, and now let's do some tasks according to this text. Mark the sentences true or false. The first one, Britain is a good country for cyclists and pedestrians. True or false? Yes, it's not true, it's false, because Britain isn't a good place for cyclists, but for pedestrians, it is wonderful. In general, it's false. The second one, it's expensive to use ATMs in Britain. True or false? Yes, it's false. Because you don't pay when you take money out of an ATM. The third, Boots, the chemist, only has medicine. True or false? Yes, you're right. It's false. Boots sells everything you want, not just medicine. And the shop assistants give you good advice. The fourth, the fifth, in Britain, people don't have ID cards. True or false? Yes, it's true. Britain is one of the only places in the world where people don't have ID cards. The sixth, summers in Britain are very hot. True or false? Yes, it's false. A good summer day in Britain is dry and warm, but not very hot. And the last one, in Starbucks in Britain, waiters don't use your first name. True or false? Yes, it's true. And the author feels stupid in America when the waiter calls Mark, your tall cappuccino with extra chocolate. But in Britain, the waiters don't write your name on the cups. Thank you. You have done everything correctly. And for next lesson, be ready to tell about Kazakhstan walking, about Kazakhstan banks, drivers, Boots the chemist, about ID cards, if Kazakhstan people use ID cards or not, about summers and Starbucks. Thank you. Let's do next task.